Let's do this.
All right, welcome back to the best thing you watch this week. Chris has got some great stuff to talk about. I might have some great stuff to talk about. This week follows a similar formula as we've done for the last 2 years, but we're going to be adding in our Christmas movies as it's now Christmas month and we can be silly. Not that we're not silly, but be silly with Christmas movies, and we can review silly Christmas movies because that's what we do mostly on this.
Mostly.
Mostly. They mostly come at night, the weird puns. So if you've been following us for like over 2 years, thank you. However amount of time you've been following us, we really appreciate your time. I'm not going to waste too much time like with all the stuff that like what we do. I think you can check it out in the description. You can see our formula. But we talk movies, audio stuff, and the audio stuff, wherever you listen to audio podcasts, that we're on there, and we do exclusive audio content on that. We also have a Patreon that's going really strong. Someone just signed up to our biggest tier, which is the Nick Cage tier, which is crazy, which means we have to do more work. Whose idea was this, Chris?
Yours.
Yes, it was right. Damn it. Okay, I'll take that one. But Chris always starts with a movie quiz, and then you'll give us some new ones once you've told us the answers. So, who won? Chris Redslaff. Yes.
Yes. Yep. Yep. And Red Comet. And
Red Comet.
I gotta give a shout out to Nostromo because for whatever reason, YouTube grabbed his comments from like the last 3 weeks.
What?
And tossed them in the spam folder. So they just didn't show up. They just disappeared.
What
yeah,
did he?
and
What
so,
contingency did he like? What string of letters did he put together that YouTube went? Nope.
Oh, it was nothing but profanity. I mean, it was just a
I knew
string
it.
of Australian
dirty. Watch your
slang
mouth
that
out.
Just, yeah, exactly. It was all about kangaroo stuff and everything and weird. It was, I don't know, no. But he did get some right from previous weeks. So Nostromo, apologies for YouTube being wonky there. I think we've sorted it out. We'll find out though. But last week the answers: Shooter, The Martian, and Ant-Man.
Right.
You don't know the tie, do you?
No. It's not the director. I don't know the actor.
Michael Pena.
Michael Pena's in Shooter?
Yeah, he's FBI.
Oh, he's the guy that comes to recruit him. Right?
No, he comes to investigate him.
Oh, right.
And then he finds out about him, and he's the one at the end. Like, do you trust me? Yeah. With your life? Yeah. And it doesn't click.
Huh.
It's time to rewatch that one.
The Mark Wahlberg Shooter.
Yeah.
Not the series. Okay.
No. But I got the van.
Yeah.
So
okay. But I got the van.
Luis is one of the best characters in the MCU, I'm telling you.
He is.
Every movie should start out with a recap by him.
And the fact that they didn't have him for the new Ant-Man basically is the reason why that movie didn't work. So
Totally.
You had a minute, it would have been so much better. Added some human interaction to that. Yeah. So, you got some new ones?
I do. Cool. And it's got a theme.
Right.
Does it have a theme? What's the theme?
Well, I don't know. You're the one that did it.
I'm gonna have to remember what the theme.
You don't remember what the theme was.
Oh, I know what the theme is. What the theme is. Okay,
sure
okay.
You do. Yeah.
Okay. Number 1. I've read your file. I've also read your dog file. So let's cut the crap, shall we? This whole hungover, show up late, don't know which way is up act. I'm not buying it. I trust you about as far as I can throw you.
Your dog file. Okay.
Yeah. In my country, if you don't matter to the men in power, you do not matter. It is so different in your country. Okay. Martini. Gin. Not vodka, obviously. Stirred for 10 seconds while glancing at an unopened bottle of vermouth. Thank you.
Nice. I think people might, with the third one, might be able to backtrack on the first two.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's the second one I read. I've not seen the movie. I've only read the book.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Let us know. in the comments. Give a little bit of space so that everybody has the opportunity to guess. We'll give you the shout out next week if you get them all. Ruben, what is your question?
Chris, what character sounds can you make that people will have to guess what they are and where they're from? For example, Chewbacca.
My daughter can do that so well. I can't do that.
No, it's getting worse.
Character sounds. Wally.
See, that gives it away because you're saying the name.
I know. I don't know. Wait. Oh, where are you?
That's a great one. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I get that.
Bitty, bitty, bitty. Do you know that one?
I think I know that one. Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep. That's a TV show, and it's old.
I'm gonna do an animated TV show. Everybody should get this. Whoop, 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 whoop.
That's a good one.
That's fun.
Oh, that's funny. The bummer is nobody's going to be able to reply. They used to be. YouTube talked about at one point being able to send video replies.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it was just from creators back to commenters or if it was both ways, but that would be funny.
Well, you could reply on our Facebook page. Do we have a Facebook page?
We don't have a Facebook page.
Don't do that then. Twitter, you can do little videos on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Best We Watched.
Yeah, at Best We Watched. Just let us. You can reply with a video or your own. Get us to try and guess what sounds
that would be fun.
You are making.
That's
what about this? You're one big beaver, eh? That's like a sound with a dialogue.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. No, okay. You stumped
me. It's an
me.
underrated gem.
Okay.
Or if I said, is alive! I can't say the first.
Oh,
because
because it gives it totally away at that point. Yeah.
All right, let's start. Enough of this nonsense.
Sweet. Okay. You go first? You want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. Godzilla Minus One. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. Holy crap. Okay, so we saw this, me and my boys saw this on at a fan event. So we bought tickets and saw it on the biggest, we didn't see it in IMAX, but we saw it on a Cinemark XD screen. So it's much larger, big sound, everything like that, you know. And like I said in my review, this is actually the first time ever that I've cared about the human element within a Godzilla story.
Yeah, because that's always what we say in the Godzilla movies. Like, get rid of the human element. The story is so convoluted and just, I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here to watch the kaijus just destroy everything. Well, I am here for that in this movie, but I'm also incredibly invested in the characters. Like, I mean, there's a point where as we get towards the climax, it's obvious, it's predictable, and even within that, I still felt a huge sense of suspense and anxiety because I didn't want the outcome that I didn't think was going to come to actually happen. And
nice.
So because we follow, it's post-war World War II Japan, you know, and we're following a damaged guy. He's a kamikaze pilot who chickened out. So we get to see ramifications of when he returns to Japan and how he's viewed, you know.
Sorry, he didn't throw your life away. Yeah.
Well, because that's an honor, right? It was an honor to be chosen to be a kamikaze pilot. And so, again, the culture being collective, not individual.
Yeah.
You know, this we start out with a Godzilla who's not, he's big, but he's not big.
Oh.
And it looks great. I mean, the effects, I think some of it was practical. I mean, it just looks practical. It doesn't look CGI.
Wow.
There are CGI elements to it at some point, but a lot of this, it's not. There is a scene, it's probably in a trailer too, but when Godzilla's in the water and like the military is going, like they're getting ready to clash, Godzilla pops up. So just like this is out of the water, dude, the eyes are freaky because they have a human-like quality to them. Oh. And it's unsettling because you look at it and you can, it's not like Dead-Eye Lizard type of look. It's really like there is anger here. You know, there is a, and you're
it's like a big Charizard's really upset.
Yeah, exactly. The atomic breath scene was outstanding because there's a new thing that he does.
Okay.
In this one.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen it, the blue glow, you know, and everything else, but there's more that goes with it.
Nice.
And you're like, you know, it just sets up the anticipation.
Is the story good?
The story is wonderful. It, and this is not the one where, you know, Godzilla is trying to help humanity.
Right, this is the original where he's just destroying the city.
Exactly. He's a pissed off monster.
Yeah. So we don't know. You rooting for Godzilla in this, or you're not?
No, you're not. He's the antagonist in this. I mean, he is the villain. Which is crazy too, because like, I think it's because the people we care so much about. You know, if we didn't know the people, I think it might be less emotional, less connective, because here we're watching, over the course of a couple of years, we're watching Japan rebuild itself. And after World War II, you know, I mean, it's decimated and it's taking a long time. And even when we see it towards the end of the movie where it's had several years to start to rebuild, I mean, it's not anywhere near, you know, like fixed and polished and everything else. I mean, it's still run down in a lot of areas. There's a family element in this, which I think is brilliant because it's not actually family, but it is family. And it's not family, you know, it's not, it's not Vin Diesel there. Yeah, exactly. So we follow this guy's story and the progression of him, how he first sees Godzilla when Godzilla is not big. And then he's out trying to help. He gets a job to clear sea mines around
I thought
Japan.
Godzilla gets a job. My brain was like, what?
He did. What's wrong with that? Everybody's got to work, right? He's
over there, Godzilla.
He's out there with it. Yeah, he's over there. Okay, I got a mine.
Sorry. You know? Okay, so the guy gets a job.
The guy gets a job clearing sea mines, and there's a Jaws-like part in it because you have him and a couple of other people on this boat, and you know, there's a scene not on the boat, but they're getting drunk and they're talking around and stuff like that, and it reminded me of Jaws. And so it was great. I mean, it wasn't cheesy by any means. The only thing for me that kept this from being like the perfect movie, like the, you know, just 5 out of 5, was I felt a lull in the middle a little bit.
Okay.
Because we see Godzilla, and then there's a long portion of just character building, which is great. It's not that. It's just there was a part where it was just kind of like, okay, I'm starting to feel like a drag in the pace a little bit. And then it picks back up, and it's great. The whole thing. I mean, it is this, now that I've thought about it even more, because I saw it like on Tuesday or something like that, I think this is my favorite Godzilla movie ever.
Interesting. So mine at the moment is Gods and Monsters.
King of the Monsters?
King of the Monsters, yeah. With that's all the kaiju and it looks beautiful and the pacing was much better.
That was my favorite.
Interesting. Okay.
I think it's a different type of movie though, because here Godzilla is in that one Godzilla is the hero.
Right.
Right. And it's
just people trying to survive.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it is there's real danger and peril here. And there was a point where he just goes God mode. And you're like, everybody laughed because it was abrupt and it was so visually awesome. You know what I mean? They're like, oh yeah. And so this, you had mentioned that this doesn't come out in the UK until what, the 15th?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is unfortunate. Because we recently watched Shin Godzilla. And while I appreciated some of that is a very slow movie.
Yes.
It's so much about the government and their response and building and all of that.
It's not really what you want from a Godzilla movie.
No, this one way better. The aesthetics are just beautiful. The set designs, the whole thing. Like we are transported to post-war Japan. And watching these people just try and rebuild their lives and then met with another disaster. And when Godzilla, comes out of the water and then starts attacking the city, one of the cities, it's decimating everything, and it's, it's wonderful. It's outstanding. And then that's not even the big fight. So
nice.
There's a moment. No. There's an end credits, but it's not a scene. We were also, everybody was sitting there because you just hear, it's all audio.
Oh.
So you don't need to stay for it, but I don't know why you wouldn't if you're a Godzilla fan, because of the sounds that we get.
So they might be continuing their own universe?
I could see a continuation from this point.
Right.
My guess would be that it would be, we would jump a bunch in years. But yeah, it all makes sense too. Like there's no backstory on where Godzilla really came from.
Don't need
He's just there. They had
Never
talked
needed
about.
It. Yeah.
Yeah. He exists.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We just have to deal with the monster that's in our world now. That's the story. Yeah.
Yeah. But it does explain how he becomes big and how he has atomic breath.
Right.
And that's outstanding. So
cool.
Yeah. This
nice.
one,
I can't wait.
I can't.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm so
It's made me want to go
you.
back and watch all the other monster, like from Kong, and watch them in order.
And yeah.
Yeah. Because that could be a fun watch.
Yeah. It'll be funny because I think you'll be so much more disappointed in those when you see this one from a character standpoint, right? Because you care about all these people versus like, come on, Godzilla, take them out,
eat him.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. What's on your list?
Okay, so by far the best thing I watched this week is a movie that I somehow had missed. I don't think we got a cinematic release here in the UK, or if you did, it would have been hard to find. But I saw it was like on specials being sold really cheaply on Prime Video in the UK at least. So I got that. If I said to you, I am one with the Force and the Force is one and the Force is with me. Do you know who that character is from Star Wars?
That's Donnie Yen from Rogue One.
Yeah, so this is a Donnie Yen, directing, acting, and producing. Obviously, there's a few other producers and loads of other actors, but he's like one of the main protagonists. It's called Sakra, or its original title, Tin Lang Bat Bo. So we'll go with Sakra.
It's, how do you spell that?
Sakra. So when a respected martial artist is accused of killing, he goes around in search of answers about his own mysterious origin and the unknown enemies working to destroy him. So I watched an interview with him talking about this movie. He's done so many kind of fantasy-esque martial art movies that he wanted to ground it. He wanted to go back into the original costumes, period piece. What's funny, though, is that he says grounded, but his grounded and my grounded are very different. Because this would put Crouching Tiger to shame. There's a hell of a lot of flying, wire work, use of chi force powers. That's what I'm going to call them. I mean, at stages, he's doing things like with waves, where he's making people, he's flattening them with his chi, like they're just hitting the deck, and then he's raising them up again so he can slash them, or he can like do a wave of like, right. So he's doing like basically Jedi stuff, along with his martial arts. The thing is that he spends a long time. There's like 40 minutes of the film where it spends kind of showing us how great he is, what he's built himself up to be, the leader of a gang, and how he loses everything from his loved ones to those that he cares about in various ways, whether they're dead or he just loses like the whatever in his life. I don't want to go into too much detail. It's just there's a big tragedy like ABBA event that sets up the movie for the revenge plot line, as well as the sort of detective line, is like who's done this to him and why they've done this to him. And then we go on that journey. He's also trying to rescue someone that he comes across using his own like chi to keep her alive, so he's slightly weakened because he's trying to keep her alive. And so you have a rescue mission, you have a journey mission, you have the discovery mission, and then you get those amazing effects with Donnie Yen. I don't know if you've ever seen a proper Donnie Yen movie, but, you know, not just Star Wars, but see him fight. He's up there, if not like with the best, like Jackie Chan, Jet Li. For me, at the moment, it's Donnie Yen. The speed at which he moves and fights is incredible. But what I like about it is it's fast, but you kind of see it, right? It's not so fast that you don't. So it's fast, but you understood that that guy just got hit 6 times. Seriously, quickly. The people that he fights with, there's often moments in this film where it's, let's put him on a stand like a blood sport in an arena and have hordes of different gangs of various types and just have him fight them. And so he's good, but he's not like immortal.
Sure.
So you feel peril for him. You feel upset that he's had to go through this and wondering why they've done this to him. There's a love story in here. It's got all the elements. And it ends on a place where it's finished the arc of this story, but setting up for the next part. So he's going to do a number 2. So the costumes are period, and it does look amazing. But seriously, it's so well done. I haven't seen one it's period, but it's like now, in a long time, that feels like it fits. It ticks all those boxes between if you're a martial art lover, love wire work, but done well, like only they can do it well. Reminded me a little bit of like that Star Wars, you know, the Force with the Matrix. I was like, if you want to know where the Matrix got inspired from, it's these type of films, but only the ones that do it well. Yeah, this was good. It was very good.
This is outstanding. Yeah, it's in the US, it's on Peacock right now.
Right.
So I've already added it to my list.
Oh, so you don't need to pay for it even. It's just a part of the subscription.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, yeah. I
mean, you're paying the subscription.
Well, and don't forget, I mean, we just saw him in John Wick 4.
Yeah,
doing it blind, which was
and he was incredible in that. Yeah, I loved his character.
Well, I was watching the...
Totally.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, this is all Donnie Yen all the time. But, yeah.
The trailer's playing on IMDb, and... Dude, he's got, like... I love that there's the... I don't think it's a higher frame rate. It looks like maybe the higher shutter speed so that you can see... Like, it removes some of the blur, and so you get...
You see, this is what we moan about in action all the time. If you've choreographed a piece, let us see it. Don't cut it to death. This one, you get to see it, and that's all I want. show me the beauty of the choreographed scene, a hero fighting hordes of guys. Give me a reason to root for him. I mean, I would have anyway. It's Donnie Yen, but like the storyline. This was good. Like I was like, wow, I'm so glad I found this.
I don't even know how you came across this because it, like I think it came out in January of 2023. So
yeah, so this just flew by me. It just
I'd never even heard
completely,
of it either.
yeah, just propped up on streaming services. No one had talks about it. It's like, why? This is awesome.
Dude, this looks so much fun.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Cool.
Rock
What's
on.
next on your list?
For me, Slow Horses season 3.
Okay. Yeah, this is on the list as well.
Oh, is it really? Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Well, it's off of the Mick Herron book, Real Tigers.
Yes.
And so again, we're following Slough House, and you've got everybody. Gary Oldman. I think he stopped. They don't even give him script anymore.
He's just hobo Gary Oldman.
Yeah, I mean it's good Lord, like him burping, farting, just insulting everybody. And yet still being the smartest guy in the room.
Oh my gosh.
Always.
Like he knows his job, right? They say something and he's like, yeah, but we're doing this instead because of this. And you're like, what?
Yeah, he's so many steps
ahead. If you
ahead.
know all that, why don't you include your team, damn it? Stop being a douchebag.
The amount of contempt he has for everybody.
Everyone, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, except for Standish. Right? Like there is this special bond there. And we saw in the last season some of why, because of some of the regret and the guilt that he has, especially as it ties into River's grandfather.
Yeah.
But I was, this one, first off, to have Sope Dirisu join the cast from Gangs of London.
I didn't know.
Like
I didn't know he was in this. I
didn't know it either.
I was like, dude, I know that dude.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I mean, and he had the bigger hair, so it was kind of like,
is it?
Am I watching Gangs of? I don't know what's going on here. It's just like because you look exactly like your character Elliot, and. Oh man, no. So I liked him in this a lot because he brought a big complication.
Yeah.
And yet I could get behind him.
He's kind of sort of a bad guy, but you understand why he's doing it. So you're just sort of rooting for him. I mean, I definitely was. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a noble quest, even though what he's doing may not be totally noble. Or how he gets there, I think.
I mean, it's easy to root for these guys because we live in a world now where we don't trust our governments. We don't trust our police forces, those in charge with power. It's so easy to think, well, they are up to no good. Like, and so this story kind of plays on that those like MI5 there's something there that they need to, fish out of the dark recesses of a file warehouse that keeps all the secrets that nobody's ever going to know about. The Ark of the Government's in there somewhere. It's that sort of thing. I gotta say though, the guy that looks after the warehouse in this, hilarious. He's such an interesting character.
And following that, this series is brutal.
It is very yeah.
I don't think. I mean, there have been deaths in the other seasons. This one though was
it amped up. It started off not slow, but it just started off like this is what the story's going to be, and I was like, oh, interesting where they're going with it. And then something happens at Slough House, and I was like, oh, that's how they're including the Slough House people. And then it just gets more intense, and brutal in places. And it's like, surely someone's going to rescue that person now. And they're like, nope. And then surely someone's not going to let that go so far. Nope. It's like, damn. The action in this is excellent as well.
It was, yeah. I mean, so much more gunplay, first off, than we normally see.
We've not seen the whole team really kind of put into action. We see little bits here and there with them. But this, really felt like an inclusive. This time, they're actually on mission. They barely spent any time in the house.
Oh yeah, No, exactly. And there was, I like seeing more of the interactions too. You know, because we get now Roddy outside of his computer, which doesn't make me like him anymore.
What a character!
But it's just he's like the opposite of Jackson Lamb. Like he's so rude and abrasive, but he's also not the smartest guy.
He really is. Although he is really like
he's very talented.
He's tech. He knows that.
Yeah.
But any other decision he makes, you have to worry.
Well, and you like, it's very hard to even like him at all, even when he's right or something, because he's so, there's something about how he plays it, which is genius, by the way. I mean, the way that he plays the character to make me so repulsed by him.
It's like, it's like the perfect explanation of this character is when Lamb sees his car and he's just like...
It's like, okay, you shut up.
His car says everything about who he is as a person. It's just like, oh my, yeah. I feel
the anime screen and with the anime GPS and stuff.
Oh yeah,
so funny.
Oh my gosh, it's like, dude.
But this one, I mean, there was a good amount of tension that I felt, you know, because I think because they amped up the violence and not everybody was safe, that then you actually felt like, oh, well, somebody else might die, you know, that we care about. Because in season 2, that's what they did. And I was like, wait a minute, what? I was just starting to like this dude. And not anymore. But
not anymore.
Yeah, no, exactly. Season 4 is it was already announced when they announced season 3.
But they do a little trailer at the end. I think that's not spoilers, but at the end of the 6th episode. Yeah, and I was like, that's filmed. Like, that's a trailer that's all done. They've done it already.
I love that. Because at the end of season 2, they also did that. Yeah. Right? I don't think they did it at the end of season 1. I think they weren't sure if they were going to renew it, but then when they did season 2, that's when we knew they did the trailer for 3 and then announced that 4 was coming. So
I think we still have another season coming because I think they renewed it immediately for 2, and then they said, "Oh, we're going to do another one after that." So, and there's possibilities for more. There's like 11, 12 books.
Oh, I don't know if he has that many on Slough House. I mean, Mick Herron has a whole bunch of books, but he has I think they're like 7 or 8.
Okay.
Total.
Because some of them they do 2 books in one, some is 1, so it just depends on how they filter that in. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was a great season. I think this show just keeps getting better and better.
This is my favorite season. Like I do. I think they fit into their characters well now, and because of that, they don't need to lean on building anything. They can just get stuck into the story, and we can develop. You know, they can develop the characters more, and we can get to know them more on the journey rather than making like a separate thing.
Yes, that perfect way to say that. Yeah, because like think of the two, Amy Fiona Edwards, the Sylvia, is that her name? I don't remember her name. I just remember her from Luther. She was in season 2 of Luther, but Jenny, and then the other dude who has the gambling problem. She has the drug problem. He has the gambling problem. I mean, them two together, we got to know so much about them.
Yeah, in amongst the action while they're doing stuff. Yeah, that was great. That's the best way to develop a character. Don't dump exposition. If you want to do exposition, do it in movement. Yeah, very, very well done. Love it.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, that's a great choice. Okay, so for my next choice would have been Slow Horses. So we'll talk about. I mean, this is not necessarily on the best thing I watched, but you might have this one. So I will talk about Obliterated. I've been really looking forward to talking about this one with you. Is this on the worst thing you watched this week? One of the 3?
It's one of them.
Okay, this is one of the best things I watched. So let's talk about Obliterated. A new Netflix special forces team that's people from all walks of life in different like army, navy
branches.
Yeah, so they've come together to stop a bad guy has got a nuclear warhead, and they're in a suitcase, and they're going to sell it. Now, it's so old school storyline that I said in my review, it definitely needed to be a film from the 80s. It's like Expendables sort of thing. I like the idea. I like the idea of what it was going for. The Hangover, crazy characters. They're so out of it that, like, the fact that they can even shoot straight or make any sense, of the amount of drugs that they take. It's Weekend at Bernie's crossed with Hangover, with I guess the Expendables and some 80s cheese. And so the reason it worked for me is because I grew up watching these cheesy American stuff in South Africa. That was the thing that I loved. And so now, and I think this is partly, I was trying to work out now the reason why I love this other stuff like Reacher. I was thinking there was another Netflix series about a woman that was a spy, and you didn't like that either.
In From the Cold?
Yeah, I think so. Probably that one.
Where she has the special abilities built into her?
And there was another one as well. There's been a few, like, where you just... The dialogue isn't particularly great, but the action is, like, fun, but it's also just... You really don't have to think while watching this one. It's as stupid as... But for me, I found it really funny. Like, the chopper guy that didn't know he had taken drugs. The fact that he was hallucinating... like a gremlin thing that was talking to him, and there's moments that really works for me. I thought that was really funny. The torture scene with the penis, I was like, no, what are you doing? There are moments scattered throughout.
That was brutal.
Yeah, it was really brutal. And there was a lot more nakedness that I expected from men and women. Like, they really go for it on the sex and stuff in this one. Like, they don't shy away from it. That surprised me. It's like normally Netflix try and dumb it down a bit on that because they wanted like a 15 or wider audience. They were totally going for an older, more nostalgic of what the 80s films used to bring, like what they could get away with.
I did appreciate that they were equal opportunity offenders. Like, that we just don't have gratuitous female nudity, but whatever. If you're going to show female, you show guy, and every single one of the lead characters had some sort of nudity shown.
Yeah, they did, yeah. And the dude's black dong was massive. And I was like...
The girl's response, visual response, it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, didn't think I was going to see that today, but here you go. There were really funny action moments. That's what I like. They incorporated the action with some funny comedic moments. Now, it does drag, and it doesn't need to be 8 episodes. But my wife and I watched this not having to think at all. At the end of the day, we've had a full day of whatever you're going through. We sat down, had our dinner, had our dessert, and just watched. And I already can't remember half of it, so it's that forgettable. But I really enjoyed it at the same time. I watched your review and just laughed because it's like, I agree with everything you're saying, but that's why I enjoyed it.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I can respect that. I looked at Rotten Tomatoes because it's mostly people just hating on it, which I think is deserved. Yeah. But it's weird too, because a couple of the positive reviews that I saw were from people from non-American outlets.
Interesting.
And I wonder if that's some of it, because this is so, like, I could see this as trying to be The Boys. I tried to watch it as a satire. Like,
I couldn't take it seriously at all. It's totally like a almost parody. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's so out there.
It is, but it never has the actual bite.
Those characters can't be real. USA. Like, who does that? Like, Americans don't actually do that, right? Do they? USA.
Have you been seeing the news?
No, I try to avoid the news.
The maggots are just
circling the bin. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's how it is. I mean, there was like I said, like literally a circle jerk at the end. Yeah. Because you have two people having sex, and as they get ready to climax, everybody else is shaking champagne and popping the cork, and it's coming out to the chants of USA.
Yeah, that's why I thought it's like a parody. It's a joke, like a sort of what was the stop motion? Team America. Yeah.
But see, that has like actual, like, satire has a point. You know what I mean? Like it's pointing out ridiculousness and really getting into why.
And you didn't like any of the characters?
No.
I love that you really have to think about this. Okay.
No,
there's a twist on a character that I think they were pretending was smart, that I knew from... I literally turned to my wife and went, this person is this.
Yeah.
And then they were like, pretend, no, it's not. Oh, look, this person is worried now, and they're blah, blah. And I said, nah, she's definitely that.
Yeah, you said, because we had chatted before, and you're like, okay, the first 20 minutes, get past the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I got to the end of episode 1, and my wife was like, do we have to watch more of this? And I was like, yeah, let's give it some more. You know, I was like, maybe it gets better. I don't know. We'll see. And she was like, pulls out her earbuds, puts them in, pulls up an audiobook and starts listening.
Brilliant.
She's tapped out after 1. And I then continue on. And I mean, okay, way too long. Maybe if this had been a movie, I might have hated it less. I'm not going to say enjoyed it more, but I would have hated it less. Because it just drug out. It was literally rinse and repeat. It was the exact same setup each episode, just, drug on and on and on. And there were a couple of times that I laughed. I'm going to give it credit. I mean, there were a couple, that I chuckled, or that something was abrupt and I was like, oh, wow, that's fun. There was a couple of action scenes that I thought were done really well. They blow away like some of the other better shows that we've seen that have just worse action or so many more edits to it,
Yeah.
So,
but it needed much more of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I just, for me, some of it was just, it's like, oh, this is disgusting because this is just showing the mirror of America, but like in The Boys.
They find the balance of that. It works well. Yeah.
Well, and they show, I mean, like at the end of season 3 in The Boys, I mean, Homelander's look and his whole, I mean, he's just gone now. He's like, I don't even care about you people anymore. I don't care about your opinion. That's where we are in America. True. Okay, we have people doing the craziest crap in government, and people are like, that's it. That's the way you do it.
Maybe that's why. I'm just thinking how close you are to that stuff that goes on in America. You can't see it as parody because it's too real. It's just like, this is what we live through. This is what these people are like.
Well, and see, it had a bite to it like The Boys does, where The Boys actually recognizes that, no, Homelander is not the hero. Homelander is the villain. This one, though, doesn't ever say, these American idiots are... They
just saved the day somehow. Like, what government would still allow them to act and do the job the way they did? And what team leader wouldn't say, okay, we're calling it quits? Because the arrogance of them saying that we're the best and we're the only team that could do this. Like, there's 100% you have to put any sort of believability to aside and to be able to watch this.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's...
Also, at one stage, a character and a bad guy character fall down 20 flights and they shake it off like they're fine. That's the sort of logic that's in this. Like, if I wanted to, I could tear it to shreds.
Oh yeah. Well, they get back up and start fighting again too.
Yes, they do. As like, what?
Yeah, one or both of you are dead.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a spoiler for that moment, but just to an example of how silly this is. He landed, the good guy landed on the guy's like butt because he was like, I was like, but wouldn't that break your back? Like, the momentum, I guess the padding. Are you saying
he flatten the dude underneath you?
he would be mush. Like,
Yeah.
mush.
Yeah, he would like squirt out from the side.
Yeah, so like if
that.
it was 3 flights, I might have believed it. Like the lift had come up. If they'd shown during the flight, the lift had started moving up. Then I would be like, oh yeah, still like sure you got a couple of broken ribs and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
20
you're
flights,
damaged, but no.
Anywho,
No. I'm glad you enjoyed this.
I did enjoy it. But I know I still only gave it a 3, even though I enjoyed it. Like, and I think
was shocked at the 3.
Of course you were. Yeah. What did you give it? A 2 or 1.5?
1.5.
Dang. Okay.
And that was only because there were a couple of good action shots, and there were some moments that made me chuckle.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
What did you give Reacher season 1? Probably a 2.
2, maybe. Yeah. And then I incurred the wrath of all of the alpha males on the internet.
I'm not an alpha male, and I love that series.
I know. I got to tell you, I'm going in for season 2 with an open mind and hopeful that I'm really going to get into it.
But it did really well with what they did in season 1. So what makes you think anything is going to change in season 2?
I don't know. Polished.
He just looks sad now.
I don't.
No, don't make me.
I'm looking forward to it. Like, I'm going into it with the positive mindset of like, this is going to be good.
It's going to be great.
I mean, I've reset the bar. I'm not even comparing it to season 1.
Make Reacher great again.
Yeah. Can we not?
Can we not do that, please? That's too soon.
Yeah, that's...
no. Okay, what else is on your list?
I don't have anything else on my list.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I thought you might talk about There's Something in the Barn. It wasn't good enough to be on the best thing.
It was fun.
I think you enjoyed it more than I did.
I like the second half of that movie. I really liked.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it went bat crap crazy.
That's what I wanted. But the first half was like, I said Hallmark. I was like,
yeah. It was slow. It was cheesy, like cringy.
Bad Hallmark Christmas movie. That's what it was.
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't like I'm supposed to care more about the family in this beginning moments so that I can feel concern for them in the end. I only liked the kid. I mean, the dad is trying, and so is the stepmom. I mean, you see what they're trying to do, and the daughter's attitude and behavior is believable, realistic. You know what I mean? She's been uprooted. I thought they were there on vacation, and then when we find out they're moving, it's like...
Yeah, no, I get why she was upset. Like,
yeah, I mean... So, yeah, no, it was not a bad movie. I mean, I gave it a 3. I had fun with it, but it's not...
so like Obliterated. Yeah, that good.
No, it was better than Obliterated, and it was shorter.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. When the elves got drunk and found guns, that was hilarious. They just...
what is this?
Yeah, well, I had watched Tucker and Dale versus Evil this week also.
Nice.
And it reminded me when the elf is taking the gun and looks at it, I was like, oh, dude. You got to take the safety. You got to take the safety. Shut up. Oh, college kid.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Do you have any more on your list?
No, I think we can talk about our Christmas movie.
Let's talk about our Christmas movie, because you said that it was just getting like hate.
I was reading the comments on Twitter about like all these critics that had watched it, and they were just decimating it.
So it's called 44% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. And what do the fans give it?
52. So they're
not
not
much
liking
higher.
it either.
Yeah. All right. So the Family Switch. Is that what it's called? Family Switch?
That's what it's called. Yeah, Family Switch.
Is a take on 13
Freaky
going 30, Freaky Friday, all of those kind of body swap family movies.
Yeah.
It's also directed by McG, which I didn't know going in.
I didn't know that either going in. I was
what? And if you're listening to like, well, who the hell is Mike G? He's the guy that did the Charlie's Angels movies, Terminator Salvation, The Babysitter, Killer Queen. I think he did the first one as well.
He did both of them, yeah.
Yeah. I actually quite like him as a director because he does fun stuff, and that's what I'm often in the mood for. I went into this with a bit of hope. I don't really like these type of Christmas movies, but I like the body swap movies. This is not really a Christmas movie. It's a family movie.
Yeah, it just takes place during Christmas.
Yeah, it just takes place during Christmas. Jennifer Garner, genuinely, if she's in it, I will give it a go. Yeah, genuinely.
Okay.
Yeah. I laughed really hard at one bit. So, what did you think?
I went into this with the expectation that it was going to be stupid.
Okay.
It is stupid, but it's my kind of stupid. It is very cute. It is exactly what you think it's going to be. I mean, it's body swap, but now we have mom and dad swap with son and daughter. And so, that whole fish out of water, everything is predictable. Totally okay with that. There are little things here and there that I thought were great. All of Weezer is in this.
For some reason.
Why? I don't know. I mean, because the first one I see it, because Ed Helms, who I'm not really a fan of. I mean, I hit and miss with him like all the way around. But he's in this band called Dad or Alive, which I thought that was outstanding.
That's a great title. Yeah, a great band name. Yeah.
His guitarist, it shows him because he's a teacher, he shows him at school, and I'm like, is that Rivers Cuomo? What?
I'm not in my head, but I don't know. I wouldn't know what they look like. I only knew that now because you were like, oh, Weezer's in it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the bassist, the drummer, the guitarist, everything. It was great.
Yeah.
It was
I wouldn't.
So good.
That didn't. So that now, if I watch it again, I'll be like, oh, that's who they are.
Yeah. Then let's see. There's a 13 going on 30 is actually said in the movie, which made me laugh.
They say something else as well. Like, what was it? There was something literally right next to that. They mentioned, like, in that one conversation, it was one, and
because
then
I think they
one.
call it Freaky Friday also, too.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
I mean, it's self-aware, right? And I appreciate that it knows what it's doing, and the movie knows what it is, and they're calling it out. Maybe this is what you laughed about, but the baby and the dog.
No, it's not what I laughed at.
Oh,
that almost made me turn it off because that was nightmare fuel.
Oh, it was, but it was unexpected, right?
I didn't think they were going to go there. Like when you have a body swap and you got the family and the dogs, in it, you don't think that they're actually going to swap baby and dog. Like,
and then putting Matthias Schweighofer.
He is so funny. He's dry funny, but exquisite.
Just so mad. Right? And by the end, it's like it's very strange.
Your baby and your dog are spending too much time together.
Yes, exactly. I mean, yeah, okay. So everything is predictable, even like we've watched Jennifer Garner eat some ice cream. It's already been vocalized before that of what happened, so we know what's coming. So the jokes are, it's all set up and predictable like that. Yeah. There was one moment though, I kid you not, that the actors were doing such a good job of playing their alternate.
Yeah, the younger and older versions. Well, mom and dad, son and daughter. Yeah,
exactly. So towards the end of the movie, they're all rushing to one spot, but before that, they're having this big conversation. Seriously, I forgot who was who. Like I was very impressed because I was like, "Well, oh wait a minute, no, that's the wow, okay, and it's for me, it was sweet. There are parts that are cringy, obviously. It does get a little slow and repetitive in the middle, like okay. The joke has been done.
Yeah, I do think they could have. There's probably a 10, 15-minute sequence in there in the middle that they didn't need to go over it again. They could have learned their lessons a little bit quicker. So the pacing would have been quicker, because we know what the formula of this is. So you don't need to stretch it out. It almost lost me at the beginning. I almost switched it off, and I was gonna like text you and say, okay, I'm not. Well, let's choose another one, because there's this gag where the father fell into the Christmas tree, and it was so badly done, and it was so like, oh, this is
right at the
terrible.
beginning.
Yeah, right at the beginning, and he falls into the. I was like, no, like this is gonna be bad. And then I kept watching, and what hooked me is normally you get the mom and the daughter, and they swap and they have to work out like what's in. But because you have a married couple who are now replaced, like the sons and daughter are in the bodies of the married couple, and they have to act like a married couple. When they go to kiss, it's one of the funniest scenes I've seen that's what was making me cry with laughter. I was just like, I couldn't handle it, because it was the way they were acting, because it's son and daughter, it's brother and sister having to kiss in the mom and dad body, and they're all,
especially because the boy is younger. He's like, what, 14 maybe?
Yeah.
15?
Yeah. This was part of the reason why the critics didn't like it, is because they were saying it was like, oh, let's celebrate incest and funny jokes like that. I was like, that is not what it was doing at all. They were obviously like, didn't want to do it. Do you not understand the situation they were in? So there were lots of inappropriate jokes, apparently, which I didn't find inappropriate, and I'm dead. I'm dead.
Oh, your camera died there.
Look at that screenshot.
That is wow, that is a beautiful. For anybody on the audio, Ruben looks like he's about to sneeze, and that might be his thing for the thumbnail. I don't know. We'll have to see, because that was outstanding. And he's kind of back. It was. I don't see how. You're really low, or the camera's really high.
Oh dear.
That's better.
Yeah. I'm suddenly like an elf.
I don't get how people. It was not celebrating incest. It wasn't. It was. I thought it was handled really well, because first off, you see that they don't want to do this at all. That it's and she's just like, just do it, just so we can get past this, and But then you have Ed Helms in the young boy's body, and the girl that the son has a crush on goes to kiss him, and she's like, nope. You know what I mean? Like it.
Yeah.
That would have been an appropriate thing visually. But on the other side, it's not appropriate, because he's a 40-something-year-old guy, and he recognizes
when they go to bed that one time, and
nope,
and she's she's like, nope.
Yeah, so they must have watched a different movie or something like that, because I saw everything that I saw was going away from anything that was inappropriate like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was trying to find I can't, but yeah, you can search it on Twitter, and lots of people were agreeing with these critics. And I was like, really? Some people just want to be upset. That's what it feels like. You want to find something to be upset about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, first off, what it is I don't know how you go into this movie that is going to be a Freaky Friday holiday thing and expect something different. Right?
They're going to have those awkward, son's in a bigger dad bod that's unfit and got broken knees, and but also his junk is going to be different. There's all of that, like comedy moments. And never do they make it icky. It's always family friendly. Yeah,
because you don't have like in an R-rated comedy, you always see it, like the guy looks down, or the girl look, and
like hot
none
chick.
of that was in here. It was I don't know. Yeah, I had fun with it. I actually thought that the key moments where the characters learned their lesson type of thing were actually really touching. Because it is obvious. We know it's coming, but the
doesn't
way
quite
that
happen
they were
when
delivered,
we think it's going to happen.
no, it does.
Which I
exactly.
Liked.
Yeah, I did too. I thought this was done really well, and it was. I mean, it was. Is this the best movie ever? Absolutely not. This is probably not even the best body swap movie. It's not. But
it's not. No.
It was fun. I saw Netflix had posted something which I thought was really funny because you had Jennifer Garner and Emma Myers together in this movie. Then there's a scene, then it was a still of Emma Myers and Jenna Ortega in Wednesday because they play the roommates.
Oh yeah, the roommates, yeah.
And then a still of Jennifer Garner and Jenna Ortega from Yes Day.
Oh
yeah. It would have been funny to incorporate that somehow, like Jenna Ortega, because it would have taken too much explanation to figure out why she was there all of a sudden.
Yeah, but that's funny.
Yeah. I think if you like holiday movies or you're looking for something cute and silly, it's a little too long, but this is fine. This is a good, just like, I like this way better than I like Obliterated. Yeah, you're like, no, I laughed harder in this than I did in Obliterated, and more consistently.
I could do with less with Demon Dog Baby, CGI Demon Dog Baby.
Oh no, I needed all of that. All of that.
Oh my gosh, that was terrifying.
It was so wrong.
It's so wrong.
But the thing that made it though is you had to have Matthias Schweighöfer interacting with it, because he's the straight guy, in the comedy. Like because yes,
look,
that's
I got
funny.
your baby to lie down in bed, in the dog bed.
Why did that mean changing the diaper? The whole thing. I mean, because it would be cute and it would be funny the first time. Yeah. So we see that we see the dog acting like a kid and the kid acting like a dog. Okay, that's
but
funny.
If you kept playing on that gag, it would just be quick.
It's stupid.
It'd be weird. Yeah.
You need somebody in there to call out the ridiculousness. And he was brilliant at it because of his responses and his just matter of fact. And
if they don't like him that much as a neighbor, why do they leave their child with him and their dog? And why does he agree? He seems to not like them either. Like, I need to train your dog, okay?
And a bath.
And a bath, please.
Leash and a bath.
Yeah.
I think they trust him because he's so meticulous.
Right. He's so his dogs are like so.
Yeah, he's buttoned down and or maybe he was the closest thing and we've already established that he's a person that they know, and so I don't know. Yeah, probably in real world wouldn't choose him, but yeah. Okay. Do you have an anime thing?
I do have an anime thing.
It's over 9,000!
It's my anime thing.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
That is Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Over 9,000!
Is he the one that says over 9,000?
Yeah, he's literally the...
Oh,
no,
okay,
he's not the one that says it, but he's the one that they look at when the visor cracks. And he says, it's over 9,000!
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, Netflix dropped another... I believe this is their last one of the year. So that's like all the anime that they've been doing. But they did an anime called Onmyoji. Onmyoji. So that's why I was struggling with it. Onmyoji. Basically, there is a wizard type dude spellcaster who has no friends, but he belongs to like the emperor. He's like the top guy who has the most power and can do the most stuff, and he has got to protect the emperor and the surrounding city. And and he befriends, or well, somebody else tries to befriend him who doesn't have any powers, but is sent along to solve the mystery of the week, like in the episode. So it's like this demon is doing whatever. Can you please dispel it or exorcise it? My wife is acting like this. I think there's a sort of spirit, and he gets called or dragged into it. But what this is actually, so there's 13 episodes, the standard like 25 minutes a piece. It's like a bromance anime, because it's like these guys, they don't really want to be friends, but they desperately need a friend. And so in amongst sorting out these spirits that seem to be becoming more active and dispelling them, he ends up being really close friends to this guy that has no powers but is willing to do whatever to protect the kingdom as long with the emperor. And so we have an arc that kicks like later into the series, like 6 episodes in. That's when the big arc kicks in. But it's first establishes the friendship, not friendship, and the law and the rules. And so you get a few of these investigations that they complete. And then the arc has been included earlier, but you just didn't know it yet. So the arc starts, and the reason why some of these spirits are active, there's a bigger thing at play. And it finishes... sort of. There is, again, like, if you want more, they might do it, but it's somewhat contained. I would say, as out of all the anime that's come out in the last 2 months on Netflix, because they've almost been doing like one every week, basically, this would be on the lower tier. Not because it's not good, just because there's been such an amazing amount of great anime. Like Pluto is a masterpiece. We had Blue Eye Samurai, which is also a masterpiece. Like, there's just really top tier anime and storylines. So this is might be one that you put on your back burner because there's a lot that you're getting through. But don't forget about it, because it looks beautiful. It's well animated. The character voice work between English, if you don't like reading subtitles, is good. Original's always better. And the storyline, it builds, and that's what I feel like. It's a slow burner. It builds up to a better storyline, but the bromance is what I keep coming back to. You can't help but root for them to actually be friends and look out for each other. Yeah, it's very good.
Nice. Is it going to have more seasons, do you think?
I don't know. Like, we never know with Netflix, but...
Sure. Does the story, though, feel like it
totally. It feels like this is the start, yeah. Oh, okay. It feels like... there is a story that's complete, but it feels like they could go on for many seasons, depending whether they're adapting from a manga, which they normally are. So, yeah. And that's all the anime I have for this week. All right.
Well, hey, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your eyeballs and your listening. Don't forget our Patreon opportunity. It starts at £1. Patreon.com/thebeardedones. It's on the screen. It's in the description below. Also, we have a full audio version that is more of this. More? It also yes, it mostly. More where we cover entertainment news, things that we're looking forward to in the coming week. We talk about a movie we watched together, and we hit upon the thing or things that did not make our list this week. I already talked about how much I did not like Obliterated, but
you loved Obliterated, yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 more that fit in this category, it was weird. Okay. But on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Ruben with the Ruby Tuesday, me, Chris, Movies and Munchies. Hey, we will see you next week. Okay, take care.